Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here. Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here. So today, I wanted to look at the signing bonuses from the 2020 draft. So just about a month ago, a little less than that. A lot of players are signed now. There's still a few guys that have not signed. And so I want to go through and look at what they signed for, look at the slot bonus amounts, and then I want to compare to my draft, which was in 2006, 14 years ago. It's amazing how much more players are getting drafted for. I know for me, it feels like it was just yesterday. I know 14 years is a long time. I am getting old now. But let's go through this and check it out. So the first thing is what made me think to check this is Arizona State put a tweet out that Spencer Torkelson had a new MLB signing bonus record for the draft. And you can see here, first overall pick by Detroit, signed for $8,416,300. So when we look at this, we see right here is the slotted bonus. So basically every spot in the draft gets a slotted value. Essentially, I guess where Major League Baseball is saying, okay, this is about how much that pick in the draft, or it's not about that much. This is how much that spot should be signed for. And then obviously you can negotiate. You can sign for above that. You may sign for below it. I actually signed right on the dot. I'll tell that story in a minute. I've told it before. But so Torkelson got, what did he get? He got about $1,000. He got $1,000 more. So it's really interesting that this is always a funny part of the draft. Again, I'll save my story for a second. But so he signed for $1,000 more than slot. All right, then the number 2 pick, Heston Kjerstad, you can see that he signed for way under slot value here. So we're talking, what's that, 2.5, a little more than $2.5 million under slot. So when he was drafted number 2, a couple people were surprised. There were a lot of draft analysts that were surprised. I was a little surprised. I didn't think he was going to go number 2. Definitely a solid player, but that might have had something to do with it. Baltimore had, potentially already talked to him and said, we're going to sign you. We'll draft you if you sign for basically what we want you to sign for. So then Max Meyer signed for under slot right here. Asa Lacy, you can see signed for $6.67 million, so basically slot. Austin Martin has not signed yet. Let's see here. Emerson Hancock, basically slot. So a lot of these guys are going pretty much slot. Nick Gonzalez, basically exactly slot value. That's what I did, exactly slot value. Robert Hassel, under slot, $4.3 million. Zach Veen, I really like Zach Veen, just over slot. So just kind of keep scrolling down here, see if there's anything that really stands out. Here's somebody right here signed for, what's that, almost about I'm not good at math, but almost $800,000 under slot value. So college player from Mississippi State. That's a decent amount under slot value. Here we've got over, a couple $100,000 over, about the same. Nick York. So here's the Red Sox pick. Now they took a high school kid that, if you looked at the pre-draft stuff, he was supposed to go probably much later than this, and he has not signed yet. So there's been a bunch of different reasons why people are saying that the Red Sox took him there. Some people said, they took him, we're going to sign him for less than slot value, so they could save money for later in the draft. Other people said that they didn't even want to make the pick because they'll get a pick back next year, and so they took somebody that was unsignable that they knew wasn't going to sign, so that they basically just pick up a pick next year when hopefully the COVID-19 is passed and they can do more scouting. So it'll be interesting what happens there. We got a way under slot value here. Bryce Jarvis out of Duke, pitcher. Then we have exact slot value. Keep going down. Let's finish. Here's one right here, about $1 million under slot. So Carson Tucker, high school shortstop, about $1 million under slot. Here's a little over. Here's a decent amount under right here. Jared Schuster from my alma mater, Wake Forest. Just a decent amount under. Here we got one way over here. So Oakland A, this is a catcher that Oakland drafted, high school catcher that I thought, you know, he didn't look great defensively. Looked like he's probably going to be a hitter that moves to a different position. So he got a good amount over slot value. Good for him. There's a little bit over slot. And we'll keep going down till we get to the end here. This one right here, way over. Nick Lofton, shortstop out of Baylor. Good, almost $750,000 above slot. And I don't know if you guys can hear my daughter's singing Let It Go. Okay, so those are all the first round picks. You can see the last, so basically the last actual pick here. Well, let's just go to pick 30, okay? Got about 2.365 million, right? So it's crazy. The 30th pick, even here. I mean, look at this, the 37th pick. Actually, let's keep going down. Let's go down for a minute. So I signed for 1575, and I was the 17th pick. Where's a 1575? So here, this guy's the first guy that basically drops under what I signed for, the 41st pick. But even here, this guy got more, this guy got more, this guy got way more, this guy got less. So you're dropping into basically the 40s before you sign for what I signed for. Back in 2006. Let's hop over real quick to my draft year. Okay, so here's looking at my draft year. So you see the first overall pick, Luke Hochevar, signed for $3.5 million. So this past year, or this year, $8.416 million. 2006, $3.5 million. And again, I'm not going to go through all of these, but you see Evan Longoria signed for about $3 million. Andrew Miller signed for 3.5. Clayton Kershaw, 2.3. Tim Lincecum, just over 2. Max Scherzer got $3 million. This is impressive right here. Look at this. One pick away from each other. Lincecum signs for $2 million. Scherzer signed for $3 million 1 pick later. Casey Kiker, here's one of my high school summer ball teammates, 1.6. This is the pick I thought I was going to, the Blue Jays, $1.7 million for Travis Snyder. And then I went right here, 1.575. If you can pronounce, well, actually I can't hear you say it, so everybody, how would you pronounce that right there, the town that I grew up in? Most people are going to say Peabody. It's actually Peabody. So there it is. And then if you keep going, let's see what the last pick got. Last pick in the first, we won't go into the supplemental. Last pick got under $1 million. Adam Ottavino, Northeastern University. Shout out to Northeastern. So there's Daniel Bard, my nemesis right there. Could never hit off him. We basically signed for the same thing. He went 28th overall, though, a lot later than me. So slot value, let me tell you real quick what happened with me. So my slot value was 1.575. That's the exact slot value I signed for it. I've told the story real quick before, but I'll tell it again. So when we were negotiating, the scout from the Padres showed up, and just flew up, showed up, and said, you know, we're going to get you signed today. And I was like, ooh, I wasn't expecting that. So I called my agent, and he was like, yeah, I don't know if you're getting signed today. I'm like, well, they're here. They want to sign me. So they offered $100,000 below slot value. So then my agent said, oh, yeah, that's not going to happen. So then he countered with $100,000 over slot value. And then we went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth all day long. And you know what? I signed after one day. You know what we signed for? Exactly slot value. So it took a whole day to really do nothing. Basically, we could have just showed up and said, hey, guys, sign for slot value. Sounds good. All right, let's go play. But that's not how it worked. Anyways, there we go. Spencer Torkelson. He is pretty wealthy. Hopefully he, if he needs any advice, don't buy stupid cars. That would be my number one advice. Although when you get $8.4 million, I guess you can buy a couple of stupid cars and you'll be okay. This guy signed for almost 8 times more than me. A little less than that. But anyways, congrats to him. Good luck to him. There's a little bit of a look at the signing bonuses for this year compared to when I played. A little depressing, but it's okay. I'll get over it. That's all we got. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Give it a thumbs up. Share with all your friends. All that good stuff. Thanks to our patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel. And we will talk to you.